So, Christine, it's really good to see you again.
It's good to see you too.
How have things been over the past week?
Not great.
Not great. If I recall correctly from last session, we were kind of talking about a lot of the self-care issues you were having, not finding enough time to do that, finding it really hard to make it a little bit easier to find the time to do that. And one of the things that I think we touched on that I was really stuck on at the end of our session last time was this desire to get a little bit more organized.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking a lot about that, like I said, within the past week, and I was curious to hear a little bit more about that from you.
I just want to have a room that looks nice, where I don't have things all over my floor, the bed's made, my clothes are put away,
Right.
my pictures are hung up. Like, there's things all over my room that are just not finished.
Okay.
All these projects that I want to do that I just don't do.
So yeah, going back to that self-care thing, you know, a lot of people see their bedroom as kind of a safe space, and it can be really hard to see it as some place that you can enjoy some downtime if it's kind of another stressor.
I just get discouraged whenever I walk in there because I haven't made any moves to make it look better.
Okay. So there's this kind of conflict between understanding the necessity to get it cleaned up and maybe lacking motivation to do that, or what do you think the reason is that you haven't found the time or found the motivation to clean the room?
Like, it's very much an intrinsic motivation. It's going to make me feel better. Other people aren't like, you should really deal with your room. Okay. It's all me. It's all something that I want to do.
Okay.
And I guess I'm intimidated about it because I have a giant painting that I don't want to ruin by hanging it on the wall the wrong way.
Okay.
There's, like, I don't know how to find studs in a wall. Like, I'm just terrified of, like, ruining my room.
Okay.
And I worked really hard on this room. It's the first room I've ever painted on my own. Like, it's beautiful. I really think it has so much potential, and I just want help. I want help with these things because I don't know how to do them.
So it sounds like there's a little bit of anxiety with ensuring that this space is definitely going to be the space that you've always thought of, you've always dreamt of, that you've started to make progress. I hear that there was a little bit of progress made in organizing the room and making it a safe space that you can call, you know, this ideal bedroom of yours. But somewhere along that process, it seemed like things stopped.
There was progress.
Okay.
What
was going on around that time? Sorry to interrupt you.
It's okay.
What was going on was this maybe when you first moved in that progress was started? Okay.
I decided to paint it, so I had to go to Lowe's and pick a color, and I had it match my bedspread. So I got a really nice bedspread, painted the whole room. I got something framed, a really cool poster that I got. That's been framed and that's hanging up, so that's progress. I hung up my Beatles things. I got a record player. I have like this cool, like, trippy zone where I put like my music things in a salt lamp.
Okay.
And it looks really cool. And then I have curtains that have trees on them. Like,
definitely sounds like you've made a bunch of moves to make this a room that's a little bit organized, but somewhere along the way,
it's not ready.
Somewhere along the way, something happened where that progress that you were making when you first moved in kind of stopped.
Why did it stop? I was doing so good.
Well, let's talk about what was going on around that time. So you moved in when?
June.
Okay. So I'm hearing that was, you know, an off-school time. Maybe you had a little bit more free time. And when do you kind of think that the progress being made towards an organized room stopped?
Well, there's always stuff that's in the works.
Okay.
I'm waiting for another poster it's getting dry mounted.
Okay.
So there's still stuff in the works. I haven't completely stopped. It's just finishing it.
Okay.
Like, I want to know what it's going to look like when it's all finished.
And there's just a lot of anxiety surrounding kind of that finished product.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know how to hang pictures. Like, that's the thing I don't know how to do. And I don't want to wreck my wall. Because we have a new landlord, and if I destroy the house, he's going to be mad at me.
It's definitely a stressor, yeah.
I don't want landlord Tom to be upset by wrecking the walls.
Yeah.
I need to find the stuff. Like, I don't... I'm just avoiding it. I'm avoiding learning about a thing.
Avoiding is an interesting word there.
Yeah, we have the internet. We have internet.
Okay.
I'm not helpless. I could look this up, and I'm avoiding it because I'd rather get help from a person.
So you're finding reasons to kind of avoid some of these issues, these quick fixes that you've just mentioned to me.
I know anyone can go on the internet, but like, I used to ask why incessantly when I was a little kid, and like my mom would get so mad at me because like we can just look it up, like. But I want to be taught. I don't want to just read a thing. I want someone to teach me how to do this. Okay. That's how I learn better, is if you show me how to do it.
Okay.
I don't just want to read about it.
So it sounds like you have a really good idea about where your strengths are in terms of learning to do the things that you want that will result in this organized room.
Yeah.
But there's something kind of in the way that I think I'm missing a little bit. There's a piece missing there for me in terms of understanding what needs to happen and making it happen.
Why haven't I done it? Because no one's helping me.
Okay. So getting help from other people about this room situation is kind of where you see the most success happening and is really important to you.
Yes, and it's not even that I haven't asked for help.
Okay.
It's just the person. I asked my boyfriend, and he was like, "Christine, like, you're not helpless. You can learn how to. I'll help you, but like, you can learn how to do this." So now I'm pissed off.
Okay.
That he's telling me that he will help, but he doesn't have to help because I could easily learn this, and that annoys me so much. Just help me. Just do it for me.
Okay.
So
there's
really
a little bit of, you kind of want somebody to hand it to you and do it for you. Okay.
I'd rather someone else do this.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like from what we've talked about in the past, you have a lot of things going on, and this has kind of fallen down the list a little bit. So definitely, I can understand how enlisting the help of somebody else to do it for you would benefit you.
I just constantly want to hire someone to do things that I don't know how to do.
Okay.
Just do it for me. And that's awful. That's a really silly way to live, because then I don't learn how to do anything for myself.
And from what I understand, learning is something that's important to you. You've mentioned
Yes.
that a couple times. Okay.
I'm not helpless. I can learn stuff. I just don't want to.
Okay. So we've kind of trailed a little bit, and I want to make sure that I'm kind of on the same page as you. You want this organized bedroom that you can, look at and just be really proud of, because you've put all these really, really cool things, it sounds like, together in a way that's just your space. You look at it and you would see, this is Christine's room and it's great. It's her in a room. But the issue is kind of in mounting these pictures. It seems like the things on your wall are really important to you, and so you want to ensure that you're doing a really nice job hanging them up straight, hanging them up in the studs. All really important things, and you kind of understand that you need to learn how to do that. That's a process you're not familiar with, but preventing you from learning is maybe this idea that you'd like somebody to maybe just do it for you. Yes. Then there's a little bit of frustration tied in with the fact that you've admitted to the fact that you would like somebody to do it for you. And I think that's a really valid kind of train of thought and train of emotion there.
It sounds so silly.
What sounds silly about it?
It sounds lazy.
Okay.
It sounds super lazy for me to just pawn it off. You take care of it. You do it. I don't know how.
Okay. So there's this kind of interesting conflict between wanting someone to do it for you, but feeling like you can definitely teach yourself or definitely gain the knowledge somehow, and feeling maybe a little bit frustrated or lazy that you have this impulse to have somebody come in for you. So that's kind of an interesting place to be, and I can definitely understand why you'd have these frustrations.
I mean, I want to hang a giant picture over my bed, and if I don't do that right, it falls down and hits me.
And so there's anxiety associated with that.
The stakes are high. Okay, I don't want to be thought of as lazy, but I also don't want to wreck my room.
Okay, so that's an interesting kind of conflicting place to be in, is that by, and maybe I'm misunderstanding here, but by having somebody else do it, even if they do a poor job, you're in this position where I didn't do the poor job. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't blame myself. Exactly. If someone else does it, then it's their bad that it got ruined, not mine.
Yeah, it's important to you that you kind of can maintain that.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything wrong to wreck this perfect room of mine.
Yes.
Okay. And I think that's a really valid thing. Like we said, this room's really important. It's a space that you can kind of hang your hat and take a load off. And you've spent a lot of time, and it sounds like a lot of money, starting to create these things.
Yes.
And the idea of anything kind of going off plan is definitely anxiety inducing, definitely frustrating, and definitely something where I can understand why there might be some do it for me, I don't want to be blamed if things go wrong mentality behind that. Okay. So there's a lot of different emotions behind hanging of pictures and getting the room organized.
It's not just with the pictures. Like,
not just with the pictures, okay.
This room has to be perfect. Like, it's the first room I've ever really put this much effort into. I've never painted anything before. I've never matched something to a comforter. Like, I really thought about this. I really like this room. And I also know that I'm not going to be in this room forever, so that also makes me a little sad.
Yeah.
So why put all this work into something that I'm just going to move out of?
So there's another interesting element of this is a temporary space, and while it is important to me, I know that it's not a forever room. So there's a lot of, like we said, a lot of conflicting emotions here that I can understand why this is something that's causing a little bit of a headache, it sounds like.
Like, I can just give up and wait till I move in somewhere more permanent. I could just not put in any more effort. I'll still have my pictures, I'm just not going to hang them.
But from what I'm kind of hearing underneath all that is that that's not the ideal situation either.
No, that feels awful.
Okay. So what I kind of want to draw attention to is the initial process. I think it's really great that you were able to color match with the comforter and paint the room, and you were able to do that without all of these conflicting emotions. So I'm wondering where these other things started to come into play.
Well, someone showed me how to paint.
Okay. And it wasn't something that caused anxiety to ask them?
No.
Okay. So
someone showed me how to do it.
So the difference is in asking to paint and asking how to find studs to hang these pictures is...
One's more difficult.
Okay. So there's kind of a fear that the difficulty...
And one's more dangerous. Like, paint can't fall off the wall and hit you.
I would say that's true.
It's a little more dangerous to hang things than it is to paint something.
So there's also this added component of danger.
Yes.
Okay. There's a lot of different things here, and I can like I've said before, I think I can understand why all of these things have kind of had you frozen in terms of continuing progress on this room.
Like, I bought these wall decals, and they're huge, like they're tree sized, and I can't even hang them up because I don't know how to do that. And they're just like sitting on top of my shelf, just like collecting dust. Because I don't know how to put them on the wall. And I've looked it up on YouTube. And because someone isn't there showing me how to do it in person, I'm like refusing to do this.
You need that human contact, and it sounds like you have somebody maybe who could teach you in mind, but something's blocking that, either asking or...
He's just teaching me a lesson. Like, he doesn't, my boyfriend doesn't want me to have the easy way out, because he tries to make it so that I can do things for myself and feel empowered to do them. Which is super annoying. Just do it for me. Like,
so you can understand his motivations behind wanting to teach you as opposed to doing it for you, but there is this frustration.
Just do it for me. Just please do it.
And from what I understand about you, you are somebody who likes to learn, so it's interesting that there is this kind of scenario in which...
Resistance.
Yeah.
I don't want to learn how to do this.
That's an interesting word, the word resistance. You think you're resistant to learning as opposed to just having it done for you.
Yes.
Okay. So, the focus isn't maybe even necessarily on the end goal, but it's the process that it would, that would get you to the end goal, where there seems to be the kind of confliction here that I'm hearing.
Oh, it's conflicted, all right.
Yeah.
I want someone to do it for me, and I also want to learn how to do it at the same time.
Okay. And you can understand how those two things don't go together.
They're not compatible. They're absolutely not compatible.
Okay.
I'm so angry at myself. Just do it. Just do it.
And, maybe not quite understanding why, either asking for help, asking for somebody to just do it, toughing it out and learning it on your own, if that's maybe an option that you think isn't quite there. So it sounds like there are a lot of different layers here to kind of work through in continued sessions. Unfortunately, it does look like we are almost close to out of time.
All right.
But I think we kind of have established a plan. We've established a problem and kind of all the underlying emotions that are associated with that problem. And I think the name of the game now is just to kind of break those things down and process each one individually. Because right now it seems like because there's so much confliction, you don't know which direction to go in.
Correct.
And I think that makes a lot of sense. So,
Okay.
you know, organization is definitely something that'll come when we figure out how to process all these different associated emotions and feelings surrounding this. And I think, you know, that'll tie back into what we talked about last time, which is the self-care, which could be really great.
All right.
Okay.
That sounds good, Kendra.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in to see me again. I would look forward to seeing you maybe next week.
Okay.
Great.
See you next time.
That was not what